to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and Carabao Cup final Heartbreak, and we'll just look back on the cup final game. And I'm joined by Billy from the Toon Review. How are you, Billy?
All right, I'm okay. It was a harrowing kind of 96 minutes, wasn't it? But yeah, we've had better days, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. But before we get into the show, guys and girls, if you like what you see, then please smash a like. It does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. And also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Currently on 394 subscribers, so 6 away from 400. Just wondering if I'll smash that by the end of February. Also in the chat is a PayPal link, so if you click on that link, you can make a donation to the channel. Just follow the instructions. Thank you very much indeed. I'll just quickly nip into some comments. Jake says, Man U fans, absolutely crap. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Not the best, are they? And but I mean, yeah, a disappointing game. I mean, I did make the choice. I went down to London this morning. I jumped on the 10:10 train from Cambridge North, and I got down to London for 11:25. And as soon as I got off the train, obviously there was a lot of Newcastle fans off the LNER train, so they were singing away. There was quite a few on the Cambridge train, actually, because quite a few got on the Cambridge North with me, so there was a lot of us on the train. Great atmosphere in King's Cross, outside King's Cross station. Then I jumped on the tube, went straight to Wembley Park, and as you saw my videos earlier, I'd done a bit up there at Wembley. Managed to catch 2 guys who were dressed in black and white suits, and 2 nice guys who were quite happy enough to speak on camera, so it was absolutely great of them too. Shame we could, for that way they dressed, shame we couldn't do it for them, but it was a great experience there in London. It was absolutely brilliant. I would love to have been in the stadium, to be fair, but hopefully one day that may happen. And then I went back and had a look at Trafalgar Square, but there wasn't a lot there. And most of the fans had disappeared by then. But yeah, overall it wasn't bad, and I got back home at 10:04, so I was back home in time for the match. I mean, going on the match, yeah, we dominated possession-wise, but it just wasn't our day today. I mean, they got a free kick, Rashford. Yeah, okay, you could say Rashford played it cute to get the free kick. Casemiro scored. Yeah, there was an offside in there, but they didn't look at the Weghorst. They looked at Casemiro more than anything and put the green line and said, no, he was onside. Second goal, I couldn't much say if it was a mistake from Karius, because Rashford's shot, he sort of went down early to get his shot, and it just looked off Sven Botman's foot and went in over the top of him. Mm-hmm. Made it look worse than it was. And then I thought he pulled off 2 great saves in the game, Karius, and he kept the score down, and he looked solid enough. Yes, he might have been a bit shaky playing his first game in 2 years since he last played for Union Berlin, but all in all, I didn't think he'd done too bad at all. And I mean, yeah, it's gut wrenching that we've not won another cup. You know, it goes on now. It'll be 55 years next year, but we come back stronger next year. That's the thing. Maybe we need a bit of a clear out in the summer and maybe a massive investment in the summer. The problem is the massive investment we can't bring in all comes down to our former owner, unfortunately, through not doing enough for generating funds in the club. I mean, Billy, what's your take on today's game?
I just thought Man United managed the game better. I thought Ten Hag outcoached Eddie Howe to a certain extent. I thought his selection and his substitutions tied the game up. I thought at times they were masters of dark arts. I thought they defended really, really well. We never looked like scoring, despite all the possession and possession and attacking areas. So you've got to give them credit for that. And 2 slight lapses of concentration for the goals, which the first one, Fabian Schär didn't go with Casemiro, albeit there was an offside there. And he didn't approach Weghorst to stop him getting the pass off for the second goal also. But that was after he'd had his bang on his head, wasn't it? So I'm not sure if he was all there or not at the time. So, yeah, all in all, disappointing result. Not a bad performance. Certainly better than what we did in 99 against them, and certainly better than what we did against Arsenal in 98. We dominated possession. XG is probably a lot higher than theirs also. But at the end of the day, I think the side with the most clinical side out of the two won the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Billy. Again, it's lapses of concentration that's made us concede. We did that against Liverpool. We got caught out twice against them, and we were 2-0 down in no time. Against West Ham and Bournemouth, we were beaten at the back stick again. First off by Paqueta, second one Senesi. And the defence hasn't been right at the minute, and I just don't know what's up with the defence. And then Botman had a couple of shaky moments in that final today. He wasn't at his usual Rolls-Royce best, as we know he can be. It's Man City next weekend, and it doesn't get much tougher than just coming off a final defeat to go and then play Man City at the Etihad. Especially the way they took Bournemouth apart yesterday. But there again, they can be inconsistent, so who knows? It's going to be a huge test next weekend against City, but let's hope we go there. I'll be happy if we went there and got a point, Billy.
100%, and it's all dependent on whether Bruno's fit enough to play or not. I've got my doubts. I think he's done a similar injury to what he had last time, albeit this time the pitch has done it to him rather than the player. His ankle didn't look good. It was a horrible collision with the pitch, wasn't it? After he made a great tackle. If he's fit to play, I fancy just to get maybe get a point, but without him, I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely, Billy. I think I just felt for him because he played really well for us. I mean, I was expecting more out of Maxi. I mean, we did see him go up against Dalot, and he got a yellow. When Dalot got that yellow card, but he probably should have targeted Dalot a lot more. And you could see why Ten Hag took him off at half time, Dalot, because he knew that if he didn't, he'd be a red card waiting to happen. And Maxi did some good things in the game, but then when he did try and cross, he made himself look like a complete clown, didn't he? When he hit off one foot and off the other foot and went out, and it just made him look stupid. But I mean, Matt Ritchie came on. He put a cross in, which actually was with a header, and it actually tested De Gea.
I just felt once Dalot had his yellow card, I thought we should have got the ball to Maxi much more. We didn't use him enough once Dalot had his yellow card. And it was that usual story of going from Schär to Botman to Burn to Maxi. Just go straight from Botman to Maxi and let him go one-on-one, because every time they delay it, they were getting 2 or 3 players around it. Casemiro was coming across, Anthony was dropping back, and he was taking on 3 players again. But that happens time and time again. And if we're not changing it by now, I don't think we ever are going to change it.
Yeah, I mean, Almiron, he was okay today, but again, I mean, I've been screaming for Almiron to go on the left. If you look at his stats before he came to England in the MLS, he plays on the left. The half season he played under Rafa, he played on the left. I know Eddie wants to try and use an inverted winger, but he's got to shift that ball from right foot to left foot. And by the time he does that, he's got 2 or 3 players around him, so he hasn't got a chance of doing anything with it. I mean, I don't want to criticise Eddie Howe, but I think maybe a game or two, I would say put him on the left and maybe put Maxi on the right alongside Trippier.
Even if he did it for 10 minutes, just swap around, just give him something different to think about. You know, they knew what was coming every time. They know he's coming inside. I mean, at least Maxi does try and go on the outside on his wrong foot, albeit to then cross it like he did. But, you know, if they're not going to change things, and to a certain extent, he panicked a bit early, I thought. You know, half time he changed the whole system. He brought off, who did he bring off? He brought off Longstaff, didn't he? Which, I don't know, unless he was injured, didn't make much sense to me. But he must have been injured. But then again, Fred had been yellow carded, and he did Longstaff. That's what caused Longstaff to get injured. And again, a definite yellow card, totally ignored.
Yeah, he should have been sent off. But he got away with it, and again, we didn't target him either. I mean, yes, we know this Man United team are in form at the minute, and they are playing well, but you know, we should have at least tested De Gea a lot more than we actually did. And I mean, Wilson to me just does not look right at all as a player. He's not looked right for a long time. And yes, he got the assist for Isak against Fulham. He got his goal against West Ham. But other than that, I've not seen a lot from Wilson. And I've said this for a couple of weeks on my shows, Billy, and you might agree with me on this one. But I think if we go and sign another striker or two in the summer, I can see Wilson being either a bench player next season or he may be off somewhere else.
Yes, it wouldn't surprise me at all. He's not getting any younger. I mean, he's picked him today for his physicality. He's picked him for his press. We saw neither. The two Man United centre halves up against him have had pretty comfortable days, really, haven't they? Until Isak come on and went at them a bit. But yeah, it was. I thought Callum was poor today.
Yeah, we haven't seen the best of Callum for a long time, and maybe this is injuries catching up with him from recent years. You know, when he had 2 ACLs in his career, hasn't he? So maybe it's all all these injuries catching up. Maybe the illnesses as well. But he's never been right since he come back from the World Cup.
I think it's the illness has debilitated him somewhat because he looks a yard slower. He doesn't seem to have the energy that he used to have, and you know, apart from one little spat he had with Martinez, he's hardly done anything today, has he? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
and it's exactly. in a game where we needed all 11 players on the pitch. We couldn't afford any passengers. You've said about how Man United are playing. I don't think they're playing particularly well. They're not great to watch. They just manage the game really well, don't they? They manage the game really well. And Ten Hag's got them in a system which ain't good to watch at all. It's in fact downright horrible at times. But the master of the dark arts, they get away with lots. Whether that's down to being clever or other reasons, who knows? But yeah, I just felt we didn't need a passenger on the pitch today, and I'm afraid Callum Wilson was at times. And to a certain extent, so was Miggy and so was Maxi at times, even though at other times they were quite prominent. But yeah, too many didn't turn up today.
Yeah, I thought Isak did all right when he came on. I mean, he tried, didn't he? He was getting into positions to get the ball and, you know, he tried to drive forward. But, you know, he's a striker, a goal scorer, so he shouldn't have to keep coming that way to try and get the ball and try and make something happen. That's what you've got wingers for. But, you know, it is what it is. But who would have thought we would have got a cup final this year? You know, if somebody had said to me last season, or next season you'll be 5th in the Premier League and you'll be in a cup final, I would have laughed at them and said, do you know what? I'll smoke whatever you're smoking because, you know, and I know I did say before the season started that I'll be happy if we finish 7th and won the Carabao Cup. Now we nearly won the Carabao, you know, we got to the final and I suppose I got that bit right, getting to a final, but we didn't actually win it.
We don't nearly finish 7th then, eh?
Yeah. I mean, even if we did finish 7th, Billy, I wouldn't be disappointed because still European football at the end of the day.
No, you know, absolutely not. And it gives us, you know, that room to move into next year, and a bit more improvement next year, and takes a bit of pressure off Eddie Howe as well. I think if we finish a little bit lower down this year. So I think if you finish top 4 this year, for instance, I think the pressure will be on him to do it every year, and it might not be possible straight away, but you know, there's going to be investment in the summer. If we finish 7th, I do fancy us to finish higher than that next season with the investment. And yeah, I think if we finish higher than like top Champions League place, I think that's where the pressure starts coming. And it's a bit early for that. If if you finish top 4 and expecting that every season, I think we're not at that stage just yet. We will be, but not just yet.
Yeah, we haven't got the squad for Champions League at the moment. That's the problem, and we've got to build a squad up. Ideally, you want to be at the level of where Man City are, where they've got 2 first teams, really, haven't they? So, if, say, for instance, Ruben Dias at centre off has a bad game, they can pull him off and put Laporte on. They've got a straight for straight swap there.
Yep.
One quality centre half for another. Where you look
they've
at
got
our
five.
bench,
They've got 5 quality centre halves, haven't they? They've got Stones, they've got Ake, they've got Laporte, they've got Akanji, and they've got Diaz. So they're well. Everywhere you look, they've got 4. Apart from fullbacks, strangely enough, they've got depth. They haven't got any depth at fullback.
Yeah, they've got that young lad Rico Lewis on the fullback, and he looks good. But that's the level we want to be at. But it's going to take time. From the previous ownership, who didn't really care about the club, to be fair, and just let go to rack and ruin. And it's going to take a lot to get built back up. But Rome wasn't built in a day, and it will take time. Maybe we're ahead of our time this year, the way we've played. But you can only beat what's in front of you. But let's hope we can get back to winning ways in the Premier League. And we've got 2 games in hand over Tottenham anyway. So we got West Ham and now the Brighton game in hand over them.
Yep.
So, Tottenham sitting in 4th place at the moment. And, if people think, oh, well, they're ahead of us. Yeah, but remember, we've got 2 games in hand. So win them 2 games and you go back above Tottenham Hotspur. But as you say, we don't really want to finish in a Champions League spot this season, really, do we?
I say that's where the pressure starts, then, isn't it? I mean, we get a good influx of money coming into the club, and it gets our FFP up to a higher level. But as I say, it's a lot. It's a long way to come in one season to have that pressure of, once you finish there once, you kind of want to be there every year, then, don't you? So Liverpool and Chelsea are desperate to get into it. Chelsea are going to be, they're going to be bereft if they don't make Champions League this year, and they're not going to make it, are they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Chelsea are just poor on. I mean, that just shows you how not to go out and spend money. I mean, 600 million in 2 transfer windows, and they went and bought Enzo Fernandez for £107 million. And I've said this for a while. If I would love Chelsea not to even make any sort of European football next season, and I want to see how these players react when Chelsea's got no European football. Your Enzo Fernandez, your Mudryks, how are they going to react? Are they going to say, oh, we'll stay here for another season? They want to be off. They want to be playing Champions League football.
And they're on long contracts as well, Tony, aren't they? So, I mean, it's going to be hard to get rid of them. They're going to be stuck with players that aren't happy. Yeah, it could get worse for them. Let's hope so.
And they'll never get 107 million back for Fernandez, that's for sure.
I mean, he's a good player, but he's painfully slow. Painfully slow.
Yeah, definitely. Lee says, all right, Tony and Billy, gutted me. Had to come out. The team did well. Looking forward to the future. Yeah, definitely, Lee. Yeah, absolutely. Reese from Devil's Rising, nice lad. He says, hey, Tony, kudos to you guys. Thought you played extremely well. Commiserations, but it was our day.
It certainly was. But certainly was. And congratulations to Manchester United for a well-managed game.
Yeah.
Done the homework, attacked us where they knew we were weak, and they kind of, that's all they did, really. So they know that the right-hand side is, I mean, it's all right saying Burns and left back, but a lot of teams now are attacking us down that right-hand channel, aren't they? Through Cher and Trippier. Trippier's obviously up the pitch more than Burn. And they did that for the second goal, and set pieces have been a bit of a bugbear lately, let's be honest, haven't they? We should be conceding from set pieces with the height we've got, and yet we have done 3 out of the last 4 games. So,
yeah, and I mean, on the Sky, I mean, Gary Neville was complaining that they were starting Dalot at right back. They thought Wan-Bissaka would have been there at right back from the start, but at the end of the day, it's Ten Hag's team. It's up to him how he wants to play it. But I mean, they took their chances. That's the difference. They took their chances and scored. We didn't take our chances, and we've had that for a few weeks now. I mean, the chances we had against West Ham, we didn't take. We should have probably won that game. Same against Bournemouth. If you don't take your chances, you won't score.
We didn't create many today, though, Tony, did we? We never really looked at scoring, let's be honest. Apart from the Burn header we should have scored from. But as I say, at the time,
Yeah.
Luke Shaw did have his hand, his shirt fully reversely ripped off his back. So, I mean, again, little tiny decisions like that didn't go our way today, and every single ricochet went against us as well. I noticed, but I mean, that's football, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. The shade evens itself out, let's hope so. Mighty Max says, "Hi Tony, hope you're well. First COVID negative test this morning. Today's game will make the owners more hungry." Yeah, definitely. And glad you're on the mend, Mighty Mac. Poor lad won tickets off Carabao and couldn't even go to the game today because of COVID.
And he's negative as well.
Yeah, now he is. Now, yeah, today, yeah. Gut wrenching. Northumberland Jody says, "We need to find the goals again. We're getting sloppy at both ends lately, which is worrying. We didn't play too bad today, just some poor defending. The cup's out the way now, so the big focus on the league." Yeah, I've always said I think the cup's been on our minds far too much since we beat Southampton in that second leg. And now this is out the way. Let's get back to the way we were playing and see where we end up at the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, it's not just about the fact that we've been concentrating on the cup, but at the same time we've had to do without our best player for 3 games, and during that time we've lost one of them and drew 2 against side we should have beat. Really, I don't think confidence was at its highest going into today's game, which was a crucial factor. Bruno did make a difference. I thought we were much better today, but again, creativity wise, I think we were lacking in certain areas, and that's another area that's got to be addressed in the summer, I think, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. David says, "I'm just a bit gutted it had to be the scum. I said before the game that Man U were in form. I'd take that all day long over a long rest. But I wasn't surprised, but it still hurts." Yeah, it will do for tonight. It'll hurt, but then tomorrow you'll get up and you'll think, fair enough, okay, we now have to move on to the next game, unfortunately, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And they just have to pick themselves up from Man City now. Northumberland says, "I said on your show this morning, my heart said us, but my head said Man U. Looks like that I'm not that thick after all." Laughing his head off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was one of them. We all had hope that we might go there and win it, but it wasn't to be. But to think that we actually got to a final so quick under the new ownership,
Yep,
just shows you how much progress we've made within 18 months. When you think Eddie Howe come into the club, we hadn't won a game. We were still bottom of the league, and we didn't win our first game till against Burnley at home on the 4th of December. And my second win didn't come till we played Leeds late in January. So, and we stayed up by not just a little bit, but by a mammoth margin and finished 11th place. So to think where we were last season to where we are this season, it's been a hell of a rise, hasn't it, Billy?
Certainly has. I think this is Eddie's first big test, actually. There's been a bit of a slump in form, a bit of a slump in confidence. We've had a disappointing day today after a couple of disappointing days the past 2 weeks. It's the first real adversity he's suffered, and it's how we come out of this that will all go for our season, really. Because, I mean, if we come out of it and keep moping around a bit, we could drop down the table pretty quick. However, I don't think that's going to be the way we are because, I mean, Eddie Howe's such a positive bloke, isn't he? It's hard not to play for him, so I'm looking for some improvement next week. I don't expect much out of Man City, I'll be honest. But after that, we've got Wolves and Forest and teams like that where we should be starting to take points. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Let's hope Bruno's injury isn't too bad and he can play. But I won't be expecting him to play next week for certain.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't look great, does it? But I'm sure once it settles down and have a scan or whatever and they'll find out what's wrong, then hopefully we'll find out more during the week.
Did Joe Willock look? I mean, Joe Willock came on and he was knackered after 5 minutes. He's not fit either. Absolutely no way in my mind is he fit.
No, he's not. I tell you what, I thought Murphy looked all right when he come on, didn't he?
He did,
and then that shot towards the end had De Gea worried, didn't it?
100%.
He didn't move
too much, didn't he? Yeah. But it wasn't just his attacking play; it was his effort and his energy. He was our last man at times and saved us on a couple of occasions. And yet, at the other end of the pitch was our the biggest threat there as well. So, I wonder if Jacob Murphy might have played himself in for next week. That's for Man City away. It might be a time to give Miggy a rest, I think, and give Murphy a go. Why not?
Yeah, can't hurt, can it?
Not against Man City.
No. Andrew says, Burnell, best player by a mile, worked his Geordie nuts off. The rest were below par. Said it before, our front line is not good enough.
I was really impressed with
Burn
Burn
had a
today.
decent game.
I was really impressed with Burn today. I thought the effort he showed in the second, last 20 minutes, he was playing as a left winger, wasn't he? But Anthony did next to nothing. He had one little move past him. Joe Linton come over and helped him. But I thought Dan Burn in the main was really solid. Apart from when he should have scored with that header. But as I say, he was being kind of hampered at the time, let's say. But yeah, his effort and, he's got the club in his blood, hasn't he? And you can see that by the way he plays 150% every week. Sometimes he doesn't have the greatest performances. He's found wanting with his feet. But today went one of them. I thought it was absolutely outstanding today, Burn.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Luke says, evening lads, gutted about the result, but this is just a start. This is just a start. We will have our time. Exactly, of course we will. Definitely. EDB says, I don't know what Miggy's instructions were, but he was all over the pitch. Never where he usually is when needed. It was an odd game. Yeah, it was. He was everywhere, wasn't he, Mickey? I don't know what was going on there. It was like he was trying to be everywhere to try and get the ball, but didn't work, did it?
I think Eddie Howe gave him a floating role when he brought the subs on at half time. I think he had like a floating role. I think he panicked a little bit too early. I think there was a bit of panic in what he was doing there, Eddie, today, which is strange for him. And Miggy's poor performance was kind of testament to that. There was no structure to what we were doing, and Man United found it easy to defend it, let's be honest.
Yeah. Andrew says Wilson's gone. Yeah, I mean, he's not been at his best, Wilson. Williams says, I don't think Fred's tackle on non-staff was yellow, but I'm taking off the black and white.
Did slide his studs down his shin. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if that had been the other way around, what would have happened.
Like last week's Sabitzer against Leicester, that should have been off. How he got away with that, I do not know. I thought anything above the ankle was a red card, but obviously doesn't matter if you hit somebody's knee, it's not a red card now. Lee says we definitely need a goal poacher. We need a goal scorer. That's what we need.
Yes, so he's got to be able to create chances for me. We can't have these. I mean, I don't think Haaland scores goals for us because I don't think we create chances for centre forward, whoever it is. I think it's got to be someone that can create his own chances as well. Look at a pre-injury Shearer was.
Yeah,
we have the people like that ain't cheap to buy. Let's be honest, but yeah, we definitely need something up front that's going to be more clinical in the box and, as I say, can create his own chances.
I mean, thing is, I know Isak's not really played, but he's played, but he hasn't really played an awful lot, and this is his first season in the Premier League, in English football. And, once he gets a full pre-season with Eddie Howe, it'll be totally different. But I just look at him and think maybe he just needs to bulk out a little bit because maybe he's a bit too late in the Premier League and people can just shove him off the ball easily enough.
Yeah, his back to goal is horrific, really. But once you get him turned towards the goal, he's a menace, isn't he? And it's if we can mould our game to do that. It might have to have a partner with him, but I'm not sure. Not sure if Eddie Howe wants to go that way. I'll tell you another one will come in next week as well. Gordon will come in. I think he'll start on the left.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Shame he was cup tied today, in it, because he would have caused them problems, wouldn't he?
Yep,
Man,
he would have.
But Andrew says ESM tried hard today. Can't know his effort, just his end product. Yeah, that's the thing. His effort, it's his end product, and this is what Patrick Vieira said when we first signed him. He did say you're getting a good player, but it's his end product, which is a letdown.
Yeah, I mean, it was feast or famine with him today. He did some fantastic things. Some of the early stuff before they scored, he did was great. Once they scored, I think we just panicked. I really do. I think we went into panic mode, and once Dalot had been booked, I don't think we fed in the ball quickly enough. And had we done, we could have got Dalot sent off, but we didn't. And that's it's all history now. We look forward to our next game and see where we can get from this season. Now, if we can get European football, which surely must have been the aim at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Andrew says they could at least give us a goal to celebrate. Well, we've got to score the goal, Andrew. That's the thing. Alan says, evening guys, what a downer, but we will be back. Momentum is a big thing in football. They had it going into this game. Yeah, definitely, Alan. But we will be back, and I truly believe after this, now the cup finals out the way, now we've only got the Premier League to concentrate on. We'll get back to the way we should be playing, because I'm sure Eddie Howe must be disappointed that we're not banging the goals in, because we were banging them in before the World Cup. You know, we beat Brentford at home 5-1, we beat Fulham away 4-1, so we were scoring goals for fun. But they just don't seem. You know, we came back after the World Cup. Yes, we beat Bournemouth 1-0 through an own goal, but you know, we beat Leicester 3-0 on the Boxing Day. But since then, the goals haven't really been flowing, have they, Billy?
I think teams are doing the homework, mate. I will do honestly. I think, you know,
Yeah.
the amount of goals we were scoring for little chips from Bruno over the top for Miggy to run onto, or little balls inside the fullback for Miggy to run onto. Teams have sussed that out and are defending far more in the fullback defending far more away from the flank and not giving them the space to move into. Yeah, I think teams have sussed us out, and it's now up to Eddie to create another plan that they can't suss out straight away. And so you've got three lots of ways of getting to goal, and they don't know which one's coming. So you know it's harder to defend. I just think teams have done the homework now. It started really. Well, I think Leeds were the first ones to start it. Really, if I'm perfectly honest, they were the ones that nullified us, and then since then we've had West Ham do it to a certain extent. Bournemouth did it too. Liverpool certainly did it, even though we created chances. But the big one of all was today. We didn't create a thing, did we?
No, not at all. No. Lee says, Tony and Billy, spot on. Thank you very much. Foxy's in the chat. He says, Man U deserved the win. They were clinical. They've signed well this summer. Ten Hag's handling Ronaldo, and the in-game management today was brilliant. We have overachieved, not at that level at the moment.
He's right. They're a funny side because they don't dominate games, do they? They often look like they're being outplayed, and to a lot of the times today they were. And Leicester did last week, and yet they keep coming away with victories. They're a strange side. They certainly are. But like you say, the in-game management, they get ahead, and it's hard to get back into the game, isn't it? Once they get a bit of momentum in the game, they're hard to stop. But they don't overwhelm sides. Certainly not the old Man United side would have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you look at that now, the way they got rid of Ronaldo, maybe that was the turning point. Maybe he was the problem at their club.
Yeah. Well, he showed who the boss was, wasn't he? I mean, no man's bigger than any club, and Ten Hag's gone in there. It's a difficult situation. I mean, he could have crumbled under the Ronaldo thing, but he didn't. He went in there and said, "You need to get rid of him, and if you don't, who knows what's going to happen? But get rid of him, and I'll get you somewhere." And he's right. He's done it. You can't criticise him for it.
William says, felt like 3 signings short of winning this. As much as I love Byrne, Wilson and Longstaff. He says they're squad players for a regular top 4 team at best. You can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Shaw, I know people slate him, but that ball he put in for the goal, that was a terrific ball. And he's turned his career around at Man United, to be fair, because they wanted him out the Dome a couple of seasons ago. But, that's sort of left back we need, don't we? Someone like that who can just whip a ball in like that. And Kieran Trippier, he's great at delivery, but the past few games, just for a little while now, his deliveries are being off at the moment, haven't they? And, that corner he put in today, that was so poor. That just didn't even beat anybody, did it? It just sort of bounced in front of the first man, and he cleared it.
Yeah, Luke Shaw was outstanding today for them. You've got to give him credit. And to be fair, 3 of the back 4 were. Dalot was iffy, but I think Martinez, Varane and Shaw was superb. And Casemiro in front of them, just outstanding. Defensive players. They're not known for defensive players, Man United, are they? They're known for the free-flowing football. This Man United side doesn't play that. Sooner or later, the fans will demand that. And whether Ten Hag can do that, well, he'll probably have to spend a lot of money to do so. But, he's got some flair players there, but I'm not sure they're the right ones. I'm not sure about Anthony. I don't think he's good enough for Man United, if I'm perfectly honest. Cost them £80 million. Yeah, I think that's a lot of money for someone that isn't that great, I'll be honest. They've looked out with Rashford, really, haven't they? They've looked out with Rashford, because if someone had put a bid in for 30, 40 million in the summer, or 50 million, it'd have been off. Absolutely no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Well, I did say in the summer, you know, why don't we go in for Rashford in the summer when when there was all uncertainty around him. And our friend John Sinclair even looked at me and said, I don't want Rashford anywhere near Newcastle United.
I bet he loves him
And
now,
do you see what he's playing now?
I bet he loves him
see
now.
what he's playing now. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I bet he does. But, yeah, I mean, I would have quite happy had him in the summer because Eddie Howe would have got the best out of him. And,
Without a doubt.
But...
I mean, I bet Chelsea wish they'd have bought him instead of Sterling.
Sterling's been terrible, hasn't he?
And they could have got him for cheaper as well. It's ridiculous. And he's younger. So, it's... they'll be kicking themselves they didn't try and have a go at him because I think they would have sold him in the summer. I do honestly. I think Ten Hag wanted to create his own identity on the team. I think Rashford would be one of them ones that he would have looked to move out the door if he could. And of course, no one came in for him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Andrew says Isak was more or less in midfield. Anderson should have been on a lot earlier, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he could have brought Anderson on. Because eventually he took Mickey off, didn't he? And for Willikin, but yeah, I mean, it's all ifs and buts now, Andrew. But we haven't won the cup. The game's gone, and we just move on. As Foxy says, great commentary today, by the way, Billy, as always.
Thanks, Foxy. Cheers, mate. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's not nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew says, Burma's our best today. Simple as that, yeah. Sefton's in the house. He says, just put my head in a bucket of ice water. Gutted. We move on to City and concentrate on the league. Absolutely, Sefton. It's just one of those days, isn't it, But at least this time we turned up in the final and played better. 98 we didn't play. 99 we didn't play that well against Man U. We didn't turn up really. So at least today we turned up and played. And we gave them a game because the second half we came out fighting for that. And that's all. That's what we've always said as Newcastle fans.
Yeah, apart from the 2 goals, I didn't think they were any better than us, I'll be honest. It was just 2 lapses of concentration at the back. And we've played for it. But that's how clinical they are, Manchester United. Once they went ahead, I just think the in-game management of Ten Hag and the experience of Casemiro and the dark arts of Martinez, because he's a dirty little blue, he is. Martinez, he gets away with a lot. I just thought, once you get behind to Man United, you're struggling, unless you've got, unlimited firepower, which we haven't, which we know.
Yeah. Lee says, Tony and Billy, 2 legends, and all the Newcastle YouTube lads doing all the Newcastle United reports. Enjoy every moment. Yeah, definitely. It's a great time to be a Newcastle fan now, and, and things will get better. The investment will be there. We're just strangled by FFP. That's the unfortunate thing about it. If there was no FFP, we'd probably go out and spend fortunes, but we can't. That's a sad reality. But once we start getting these sponsors through the door, and if we do like what Man City have got, they've got like 100 sponsors at like £1 million each, which go under the radar, don't have to go through Premier League approval, and that's £100 million a season if you've got 100 of them, plus on top of whatever else you bring in. So we wait and see what sponsors come along this summer. We get rid of the shirt sponsor in the summer. Funny 88 are gone. Somebody else takes over the shirt sponsor. Whether we get rid of Castore in the summer is another one, which I hope we do get rid of Castore, because I think they have been very, very poor. I'm like thousands of other fans on pre-order day, bought my shirt, and they were out in the shop before we even got them delivered. It took nearly 3 months. And it's like, well, hang on. If you can get them out in the shops, why can't you get them delivered to people? And that customer service ain't that great. And I hope, and I know people are saying, oh, well, yeah, but we're in a contract. I don't care if we're in a contract. If you go to the person and say, right, to Castore, for instance, and say, but you've let us down on service. Stitching's been crap on the shirts. The badges have been crap on some of them. You've spelled names wrong on some of them. Delivery times aren't great. People ordering on pre-order. Sizing's all wrong. You can say because of bad service, you can get out of a contract that way. It's easy.
And let's face it, Castore have milked the cow dry, haven't they? 6 shirts this year. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the amount of shirts they've put out, and it's all money. Obviously, it's money making. That's what they're in the business for. But yeah, I mean, I've heard if we do break the contract with Castore or we pay them off, that's another part of FFP that we lose also. Which I don't like the sound of that. They haven't committed to the contract. They haven't been a great kit provider at all. So I think they've broke the contract. So I think we should be able to just say, right, sorry, you're not good enough. See you later. But obviously, there's going to be legal repercussions to that. So, yeah, let's get
I'm sure back. I'm sure Darren Eales is looking into that, and Peter Silverstone.
Definitely.
But yeah, definitely get Adidas back. I would have them back in a heartbeat. Alan says probably one game in hand to beat Chelsea today. Now our game in hand against Man City, the other's West Ham. Yeah, we've got a game in hand with West Ham and Brighton as well. So Lee says, looking forward to the future. Come on, Newcastle. Yeah, absolutely, Lee. It will get better. Devil says, want me to join you guys again? I'm available, but this has been a class show. Thank you very much indeed, Reese. Thank you, mate. William says, I think if Bruno had a game in him like Casemiro got, he would have been better again. I thought Bruno played all right today. He tried to do everything he could, but, at the end of the day, it's the players in front of you.
And behind, yeah. I don't think he fault Bruno at all for his game. I thought him and Joe Linton were outstanding, I thought.
Yeah, big J7 was.
Certainly the first half. A bit quiet second half, but of course, we were all at 6s and 7s formation-wise, and there was no real structure of what we were doing. So, I thought that's just sort of Eddie panicked a bit early. Maybe at 60 minutes go for it. The first 15 minutes of the second half, I'm not sure they knew what they were doing at times.
Lee says, put up a thumbs up for Tony. Nice save, Paul, talking to Eddie.
Yeah. And I can't believe you bumped into PDP while you were there. It's just amazing, all them people there. You managed to bump into Pete, and Paul bumped into Eddie, and it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coincidences happen.
I know, it is. It's weird, isn't it? I bumped into PD down there, and but no, it was a great atmosphere down there. I mean, it was brilliant. I'm glad I made the journey down there. It was only 19 quid return on the train, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And it was only an hour and a bit on an hour and 20 minutes or so on the train, because when I went down there, it stopped Cambridge and then Royston, then straight to London, and on the way back, it just stopped Cambridge and then Cambridge North, where I got off. But so yeah, all in all, it wasn't too bad. Although the seats were hard as anything, they weren't very comfortable, to be fair. But I can't grumble for 19 quid return. But yeah, it was a great atmosphere down there. It was freezing cold down there, by the way. But no, it was a great atmosphere, and everybody was quite chirpy, and but there was more sea of black and white on Wembley Way than there was of any Man U fans. There wasn't many of their fans around there, to be fair.
And let's be honest,
mostly our fans.
They were silent until they scored, weren't they? Couldn't even hear they were there.
Yeah.
They scored.
I couldn't even hear.
No, and that show of affection from the fans near the end, when they got the black and white flags out again, it brought a tear to my eye, I must be honest. Lump in the back of my throat. It was hard to speak through that, but what fantastic fans we've got. They really are. We were credit to the club. They were credit to the club in the city. They really are. Yeah,
absolutely. And safe journey home, by the way, to all those fans. If you're watching this, make sure you get home safely, and go back to work tomorrow, and don't be too down, because we got a game next weekend. Pick yourselves back up. Just remember where we came from, where we've come in 12 months. We've come a hell of a long way in 12 months. Coffee says, hi Tony, Billy and all. I'm proud of our players, even though we lost. I'm not sad at all. A lot of Man U fans were taken aback by our flag display towards 90 minutes and complimented our support. Yeah, exactly. I mean, towards the end of the game, they were still waving them black and white flags. They done us proud, the Newcastle fans, today. I thought they were absolutely outstanding. And it just shows people are quite surprised at our display. I think we saw that last year when we played Arsenal at home, and you saw Bukayo Saka stand on the end there, and he was looking around the stadium at all the flag displays. But then we found out he's a Newcastle fan, isn't he? So
Yeah, his dad was. Yeah, it is. I should say.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, our fans are just absolutely brilliant. He was proud of Burns, says Andrew. Yeah, definitely, mate. Northumberland says Isak looked a threat when he came on. Maybe he should have started. Wilson did very little.
For what we got
I
out
mean,
of
he's
Wilson, yeah,
63
you're probably
million.
right. Yeah, for what we got out of Wilson, you're probably right, Northumberland, Geordie. I mean, I was expecting more of Wilson. I was expecting him at least to be a physical challenge, and he wasn't even that, was he? Didn't press hardly. Just apart from one little spat, as I say, with Martinez before he went off, hardly noticed he was playing.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we've paid 63 million for Isak, so you know, hopefully he may get a start next week, and Wilson may get a rest on the bench. And I mean, if you notice, Billy, the last couple of games when we've took Wilson off, he's looked a bit unhappy coming off, hasn't he? So
he didn't seem that bothered today, did he?
No. Coffee says Billy was awesome for the watch along. I just wish Billy and Tony had the chance to go to Wembley. Well, I did go down to Wembley way, but obviously I didn't go into the stadium. But no, I made sure I got back in time to watch the game at home, because I was going to stay in London to watch it. But then I thought, well, are you going to get in a pub anywhere to watch it? That's the number one problem. Are you going to get in a pub? And I don't think you were going to. And it would have been hard, wouldn't it? And then you think of the travelling getting back as well. All the fans, so it's like I thought, no, I'll just get back home and watch the game when I get home. But yeah, it was awesome when I went down there, and as I say, it was brilliant, especially King's Cross Station as well. Paul says, didn't think we played that bad, but defo missed Pope. I do think he would have saved those goals. I think possibly the Casemiro one. Possibly the second one, because he's taller than Karius, isn't he? Mm-hmm. But overall, I wouldn't knock Karius, because I thought Karius played all right. You know, I think he proved a few doubters wrong.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got near Casemiro's. No way.
No. But Karius played all right. He pulled off a couple of great saves, and shots that were coming to his way, he was just saving them, wasn't he? Because they weren't really testing them. But I know the Man U fans done that little, the chant that you normally get off championship teams when the goalkeeper goes to take a goal kick, Oh
yeah.
But if that's what they want to do, then let them do it. But I thought Karius was okay, and I don't know about you, Billy, but would you extend his contract at the end of the season and give him an extended contract?
I'd sell Dubravka and I'd have him as number 2 without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I wonder if Dubravka gets his winners medal as well.
He'll get one. Whether he's got it now or not, I don't know. But it'd have been a bit shit if he'd have gone up the steps with the Man United team to collect it, wouldn't it?
Apparently, he stayed back in Newcastle.
Did he? Didn't go?
No.
They'll get one to him somehow. Probably bring him.
Yeah, they'll bring it or they'll send it in the post to him. Coffee says Wilson's been looking more and more phased out with every game. Not sure if Southgate did something to him during the World Cup. Now, the World Cup was a funny thing. I mean, with these air-conditioned stadiums, has the air conditioning in these stadiums had something to do with it? I mean, when you go back to the Switzerland game against Portugal, there was, I think it was Shaqiri and Cher. They were having breathing trouble with the air conditioning from the stadiums, but their manager still played them. So I just wonder if that's affected him as well. So I don't know. That may be the problem. But that World Cup wasn't great for the air-conditioned stadiums, and there was a lot of players falling ill with it. So who knows? But yeah, Wilson's definitely not on it at the moment. That's for sure. He's not the Callum Wilson that we do know.
Definitely not.
Williams says Sabitzer was a dreadful tackle. Yeah, last week, he was, wasn't he? Absolutely terrible, that. Paul says we need to concentrate on the league. Foxy says we need a clinical goal scorer all year. I think Isak is a talented kid with potential, but was the wrong signing at the wrong time. Overpriced as well. Need physically to bulk up a lot pre-season. He's right, isn't he, Billy?
100%. Yeah, I think he's put himself under a little bit of pressure as well by playing so well in the first game at Liverpool. I mean, the game after that against Palace, he was through 1-on-1 and spooked himself out of
Yeah.
scoring, basically. And he's not really looked the same player since, has he? He scored a penalty against Bournemouth and a tap-in against Fulham. But apart from that, I mean, yeah, I think you want more from your striker than what he can provide at the minute, that's for certain.
Yeah, definitely. John says, toothless up front, poor at the back last few games. Lads did well, but their quality nulled ours. Yep, got to agree.
Yeah.
Coffee says, some of our fan base are already kicking off with a how out chance. Well, I'm sorry, they are just deluded. They're either not our fans and they're Mackems in disguise, or if they are our fans, they need to have a reality check, because at the end of the day, look how far we've come under Eddie Howe. Who would have thought we would have come this far? I mean, when I went on the Bournemouth channel to do the preview for the Carabao Cup game just after the World Cup, Craig Beasley, who I was on with, nice lad, he said to me, I can't believe Eddie Howe's taking the cup seriously with you, because when he was with us, he never wanted us to have a cup run. And I said to him, well, at the time, I said, probably because, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but he probably wanted to keep Bournemouth in the Premier League more than having a cup run. And because of finances being totally different at Bournemouth to what they are at Newcastle. And, Eddie Howe's done really well, and he's going to be an elite manager, Eddie Howe, and he will be an elite manager. And but we don't need people like that.
Let's not forget, today was a learning experience for Eddie Howe as well. He's never managed a team at Wembley before in a cup final. So, yeah, that's his first cup final, and he'll come on for that. He'll be better next time, absolutely. Whether it's preparation, whether it's tactics, Eddie Howe will learn from that. Eddie Howe's learned from every bit of adversity that's come his way and come out the other side with flying colours. So I've got every faith in him that next time we go to Wembley, we won't be coming away disappointed. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, Alan says Shearer created more chances after injury, had to change his game and was not as fast.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah. But that's the difference when you've got a quality striker like Shearer, though.
Indeed.
Andrew says, what Billy said earlier was right. Me and my dad said it today. We never got a bounce, a deflection, a loose ball or nothing for us in the box. No. Definitely not. Coffee says, I had TTL commentary on, but my friends would text me saying the stream commentary said Murphy's shot from distance was like Roberto Carlos.
It did bend a long way.
It did, yeah.
I didn't say that, by the way. But it did bend the way. It bent too much, didn't it, in actual fact? I mean, De Gea had given it up, hadn't he?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Joe Linton, that was not good enough. Not at all. But, we're beaten by a better side. Devils Rising, no player bigger than our club. Eric Ten Hag won't accept that either. Yeah. Definitely. Christopher says, no goal threat, no creative central midfielder, creative full back for the front three to go out a goal. Front three who can work out and attack since the World Cup. Some are clear out needed. Quality, not kids.
It's all about the money, ain't it? You got to pay a lot of money for these kind of players that you're after. I think we will pay some money. I think we will spend a lot in the summer, but whether we can get it all in one go, I'm not so sure. Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, January's a difficult window because people inflate their prices so much. I mean, it just proves it with Botman. They were wanting up to £60 million for Botman last January, and we got him in the summer for £35 million. It just shows you how much clubs inflate players' prices in January. Coffee says, Curry's had a good game today and has the highest score rating in our team. I'm pleased he had a good game. I mean, I did see a paper report, Billy, and I just think it was a Daily Mail, or it might have been the Express, but it was one of them. And, they had to put the doubters out. They've had to slate Karius already. They said, Karius had a howler in the warm-up before the game started, which would have buoyed Man United on. And I thought, what? leave the kid alone. You know, yes, he had that game in the Champions League, but we know why now, because he had concussion,
Mhm.
and that was Klopp's fault. He played him having concussion. You know, the media ruined his career. He went to Union Berlin. He never really turned it around, and but I thought he played well today, and okay, but if had a couple of little dodgy moments, but other than that, he played all right. He pulled off some good saves, and the one from Weghorst was fantastic.
I mean, the defence played on the whole pretty well, as just them two moments. And when we were chasing the game, obviously we were going to get caught short at the back. But in the main, we didn't see Rashford do anything really, did we? Apart from
No,
the deflecting shot for the goal, he never got in through the channels. He never got in over the top. So I think we kind of nullified their biggest threat. And unfortunately, we then conceded from a set piece. But I don't know.
John says Anthony gave a bad day inside out, but Big Joe didn't like it.
Well, once he did.
Yeah,
and
and
then
that
Big
turning
Joe,
around, didn't he? Yeah.
yeah.
Lee says, had a good run since the World Cup. Damaged us. Never should the World Cup have always be played in the... Yeah, it should be. I think the World Cup in the mid-season was an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
But again, that's down to FIFA and the brown envelope Sepp Blatter. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But hopefully from now on, the World Cups are in the summer, because we don't want a season break like this again. Never again.
Definitely not. It's ruined
It
the
stopped
season,
our
hasn't it?
momentum.
Now we've got
it
FA Cup
has.
ties being played in midweek, which is ridiculous because we're
Yeah.
trying to play catch up. Ridiculous, it really is.
Ian says, hi, Tony and Billy, just not our day today. No, not at all. But, we move on. And that's all we can do. Joe Litton says, never looked like scoring. Didn't defend. We were not good today at all. Yeah. Andrew says, I'm not worried. We'll just have to get that 7-0 next week.
we might get a 7-0 next week, but whether it's in our favour or not, you doubt.
Yeah, exactly. David says, love to see more flags in there. The difference and passion between the two fan bases is massive. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Man U's fans just come across from London, don't they? I mean, they're like tourists, aren't they? But, as Billy said, they weren't even... You didn't hear them until they scored. They were quiet. It was like a library on that side of the ground. All the noise was coming from our side. Joe Litton says, yeah, we've been poor for a while. Yeah, we have. We've had a bad run at the moment. But hopefully we come back into it and we go back on that good run again. Big test is next weekend at Man City. Christopher Davis says, I'm feeling deflated rather than upset. Their first goal, which was offside, in my opinion, knocked us back after that. We were the better team for half an hour.
Yeah, agree with that, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah. Lee says, I hope we get Adidas back. Yeah, so do I. Yeah. Alan says, yeah, I thought our two Brazilians had a good game, and Isak. Yeah, they did. Played really
it's just
well.
a pity we couldn't get Isak in at the areas where he could have caused them more threat, which is in the penalty box. All of his best work was done halfway line, first 10 yards of their half, which was a shame. We couldn't get up the pitch a bit further from just cause them disruptions. But they defended really well. They wouldn't allow him near the penalty box. I mean, Casemiro, but that man's a Rolls Royce, isn't he? He really is.
Isn't he?
He really is.
I know people laughed at 30-year-old for £60 million, but it looks £60 million well played, doesn't it? I mean,
100%. Yeah, he's
I wonder if Real Madrid are regretting letting him go now.
I bet they are.
Andrew says, I'm watching news and the boxing at the same time. Nice one, Andrew. Thank you very much. I can't pronounce your name, but you see Newcastle play well. No, can't shoot a goal. I think you probably mean we couldn't get a goal. Yeah, definitely. Lee says, We've got the best fans in the world. Come on, the Toon Army. So proud of our fans and the team now, our lads on YouTube. Good luck for the future. Yeah, thanks very much, Lee. Cheers, mate. Much appreciated. Coffee says, I'm guilty for getting half predictions right. Man U 2-0 up at half time. Rashford scored one own goal. Was supposed to be from them. I predicted 3-3 with carries to save the penalty. Yeah, sorry it didn't go that way, did it, Coffee? You've jinxed it, haven't you?
We should be watching it now if that was the case, wouldn't we? You know, I don't know how long it's been since the game finished. Well, it'd probably be finished by now, wouldn't it? But it wouldn't have been far off finishing.
John says, as I said, the best result was the pie and paint before the game. I hope you enjoyed that. Joe Linton says, Paul, multiple player. Are you talking to Paul? Mighty Mag says, I can see Ashby and Gordon seen in more time.
Certainly Gordon will, absolutely. Not sure about Ashby. Yeah. He's not match fit or anything, is he yet? He's not had any football this season, so I think we might see him on the bench next week, possibly.
Yeah,
it's time to start phasing out the Mankios of this world now, and you know, and Dummets and Lascelles and people like that. Need to phase them out now, and yeah, I just think that there's spots on the bench that can be taken up by young players that can get benefit from the experience of it. I know we're trying to get to Europe, and I think we have to maintain that some kind of form to get that place now. But I think we can promote a few young ones now.
Yeah. Paul says, and play here, as I mentioned, Matt Ritchie.
He's right. We've got no depth, have we? I mean, it's sort of saying drop players, but when you've got no one to bring in.
Yeah, definitely. Foggy says, this will strengthen the owner's resolve. Yeah, without a doubt.
I was really impressed with the way they dealt with it, though. You know, they kissed and hugged every player, and the manager when they came up the steps and onto the gantry to get the medals. You know, I was really impressed with them, and they will see that next time we go there, that won't happen again. You can see it, you know, and
yeah,
it's great to have ambition in owning your club for change. We're not used to it, are we? You know, I think we've got proper ambition here now.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw the players go get their medals, go back down the stairs. As soon as it was Manu's turn, I switched off after that. But I don't want to see Goofy up there lifting up the trophy with Maguire. So.
I was a bit sick about bringing Maguire on so he could get his captain's armband. I thought that was a bit disrespectful.
Yeah. Coffee says, I feel we could have roped in a few loan players in January. It's who you get, though. That's the thing. Did we leave? I mean, the thing is, Billy, looking back at that window, did we leave our business too late? Because we seemed to go shopping towards the end of the window, and then we tried to get Sander Berge in. He didn't come, and we tried to get Conor Gallagher, but obviously Chelsea won't sell to us, will they?
It was how late the Shelvey thing came in, wasn't it? I mean, I think it's a mistake letting Shelvey go, if I'm honest. I think we could have given his extra contracts. And if Forest wanted to come in at the end of the season and pay the 12 million quid for him, accept it and get his play goals that way, I'm not sure if John Joe Shelvey is actually benefiting from a move to Forest this season. Because since he's gone in there, I mean, they got a good hiding yesterday, didn't they? So I think we could have kept Shelvey. I really do. And he probably played, not today, but he certainly played last week.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Wood's gone there now. He's going permanently now, isn't he? Because he's activated the clause in his contract. And
yep.
I think they're paying a total of 19 million for him. So we've only paid 6 million for Wood. So that's not bad business from our owners.
Certainly not. I mean, I don't mind the Chris Woods one so much, but certainly we were short in midfield before the window started. To actually go in weaker than what we started, it was ridiculous in my opinion. And I think there should have been a bit more. It's all having sentiment. You know, John Joe's earned this move, this, that, and the other. It was our player. We could have hung on to him and activated that clause. I mean, he might not have accepted it, but we didn't have to sell him in January. That's for certain.
Yeah, definitely. 3-4-3 don't work, says Paul. Laughing. He's obviously talking to somebody about tactics. Coffee says, did Howe try a 4-4-2 in the second half?
Not really. It was like a 4-5-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was just trying everything. Eddie Howe, wasn't he? He was trying everything he could.
At one point, we did have three at the back, and like a 3-5-2 when we were trying to run out from defence because Botman went central, Share went over on the right side, and Burn on the left. It was all a bit higgledy-piggledy, if I'm perfectly honest. And that's what I'm talking about in-game management. I think theirs was much better than ours, much better.
Yeah. Guys, we've got 48 watching at the moment, but if you want to smash those likes, that'll be absolutely fantastic. It helps the channel up the search results. And also, if you're brand new at the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. Thank you very much indeed, guys. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a link at the top of the chat. Just click on the link and follow the instructions. Thank you. Paul says, who would be Wade then to help defend in the wing-back positions? Oh. Good question.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good question. Again, we've got 15, 16 players all season that he's used, and given that some teams use 16 in a week, we're struggling to compete with these teams, aren't we? Because the depth of the squad just isn't big enough. Eddie Howe only trusts really 14 players. He makes the same 3 subs every week because that's only 3 players he trusts. When we get an injury or two, he has to step down and bring in players that he obviously doesn't really trust, but he has to bring them on. It's the depth of the squad that's lacking, and that's not going to be fixed overnight.
Yeah, and now Fraser's training with the under-21s now, so that shows how far down the pecking order he is. But it's like the defence, when you look at the defence, and then if Share or Botman has to go off, you've only got Lascelles after that.
Yeah, or could bring Burn in and put into centre half and put left back.
True.
I thought he was going to do that today when Share went off. I don't think he'd have brought Lascelles on. Although Lascelles seems to give you some threat from set pieces, doesn't he? Which none of the centre half seem to do.
Yeah, he does, yeah. We could have done with Lascelles coming on the touchline and being a bit of shithousery, getting the yellow card for stopping the ball going back. Mighty Mac says, we can blame you, I like coffee. Paul says, Trippier's no centre-back, so he'd be dropping one out of the best players, playing 3 at the back. Yeah,
Trippier right wing back and Target left wing back, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But again, it's not something we've done all season. I don't expect us to start now.
David says, how do you think we'll do against City? Well, it's going to be a tough ask at the Etihad. We haven't got the greatest of records down there, to be fair. I mean, this season, yes, we had that 3-3 draw. And after that game, Guardiola actually said, he says himself and Eddie, as he quoted on Sky, he says, we've put on a show for the fans, not just in the stadium, but on the TV today, because we've put on an entertaining game. And he said, and they said, yeah, but, you won a 4-0 last year. He says, yes, but he says, let me be real. That was last year. He says, this year, it's totally different. He says, this was not a 4-0 win for me this year. I didn't turn up here thinking we're going to win this game. He says, this is a great point for City. And for him to actually come out and say it's a great point for City shows you how well we actually played against them. And I mean, that day, that was when ESM ripped Kel Walker a new arsehole because he was everywhere. He was unplayable at the ESM. And that's the ESM I want to see, though. But we can't just see that 1 in every 10. We need to see that on a consistent basis.
I think we need to go at them if we're going to get anything out of them. I think we can't just sit back and let, try and sponge things up. We've got to go at them, play our normal game, and let's see where it takes us. But I'm not optimistic, if I'm perfectly honest. I mean, when we annoyed them,
get a point, I'll be happy.
I'll be really happy with the point, really happy. But when we went 3-1 up, we annoyed them and got it. It was, we hung on for 3-3 in the end. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, definitely. Pope kept with that game as well with a save from Haaland, and I mean, we could have argued towards the end of that first half, maybe Shea should have had a penalty when he was bundled over, But and then that would have been 3-1 at half time, and then Trippier's free kick would have made a 4-1. That would have been a totally different game. But if we go down to City and get a point out the Etihad, I'll be happy with that. But I'm not hopeful of a point out that, but I'll take a point any day there. Paul says Bernard Target is a winger, laughing. Obviously, he's talking to somebody else.
I mean, Burn played as a winger for the last 20 minutes today, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? Yeah, he played really well. Lee says Eddie's done well. He's our best manager we've had for years. Top man, absolutely, definitely. I mean, um, much better than what we've had in the last, well, God, since Rafa anyway. But yeah, Eddie Howe has done really, really well as a manager, and that's what I keep saying. It's not just the fact that Eddie Howe's come. I mean, people laughed when we took Eddie Howe on as manager. Like, so your Martin Samuel said, "Oh yeah, but Gerrard, you could have had him. He's gone to Villa now." And yeah, but look what Eddie Howe's done. He's waved goodbye to Gerrard. He's gone. He's sacked. Dean Smith's been sacked from Norwich. He's seen these managers off, and I think a lot of teams are now looking and thinking, "Wow, why didn't we take Eddie Howe on?" I mean, I bet Villa are thinking that, and probably Norwich are as well. But Eddie Howe did his homework. He didn't just sit on his backside. He went out and learned from other managers, top managers, Simeone, Sarri, to see how they do their game. And Eddie Howe's got a bit of Simeone about him now, hasn't he?
And they'll learn from today as well. This is it. This defeat today will let Eddie Howe will certainly learn from it. He'll take stock of what's happened, and he'll come out the other side with flying colours as he always does. He's come out of that disappointment of getting relegated at Bournemouth, albeit by a dodgy decision at Villa Park. And they should have got relegated, but he's come out with flying colours, and he's like you say, he's done his education, and he's learned things off different managers, different styles. And I think today's his first Wembley final, and he'll learn from the disappointment of that also. And I think the players will too. I mean, there are positives to take from today, even though it's hard to find at the minute. I mean, you've got to look deep for them, but there is positives there.
Yeah. Andrew says, difference is Murphy's shot was deliberate, Carlos's free kick was a lucky fluke. Carlos's free kick, that was a hell of a free kick.
He never scored one after, ever.
You didn't know. John says, we were toothless and much praised defence are becoming a shambles. Central defenders beaten by a midget in the air.
I wouldn't say Casemiro's a midget.
He's not small, Casemiro. Martinez is small, but Casemiro's not. Casemiro's quite a good header of the ball, as he's proved today. Devin Green says, absolutely gutted. Can't stand Man United. I hate them as much as I hate the Mackhams. It's a joke. Maxi messes with the ball today for too much, and his decision-making was complete rubbish. We'll be back. Yeah, we will be. I mean, yeah, Maxi's decision-making isn't great, and he's got to learn to release the ball a lot earlier. That's the problem why the likes of Wilson's not scoring. I mean, I know Wilson's off his game as well, but the reason Wilson doesn't score as much is because he's not getting the service into him.
No,
you feed the service in front of Wilson, he'll put it away.
No, he didn't get any at all, did he? Not a smidgen of service. But at the same time, he also didn't put himself about much, did he? So, as much as we're criticising Maxi for not getting balls in, he hardly showed the ball either. So, I mean, I think Maxi did some good things today. I think he wasn't, totally crap. He did some really good things. At times, he had Wan-Bissaka on toast, even not just Dalot. So, I mean, Wan-Bissaka's a much better defender. But like you say, at times his decision making is a bit weak.
Yeah. Lee says, no cans on the trains or bottles, but hip flasks are hot. Yeah, L&E are having dry trains all the way back from 7:30 tonight. So apparently you're getting searched before you get on the train. I don't know how they're going to police this, to be fair. I think it's absolutely stupid. But it is their rules, I suppose. And yeah.
Pringles tubes are the way forward.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Alan says Murphy's shot took a layer of paint off the post.
Good effort. Cracking effort.
It was a hell of a shot. Paul's talking to somebody there. Sydney says Almiron has had his purple patch. He's been kept in too long, out of form. Do you agree with that, Billy?
I do agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And he's also just signed a new contract too, which is maybe it was a kind of hope to spur him on to great things today, but unfortunately he was peripheral to the game, wasn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Maybe he just needs a rest.
Definitely does, without a doubt.
Alan says, evening, Tony and Billy. The ref was a Man U player in disguise. We need a creative midfielder and a striker. Lads, do you think Wilson will beat the two next season? Well, I said this earlier, Alan. I think if we sign a couple of strikers, either one, he'll be a bench player, but if he doesn't want to be a bench player, I think he'll be a gun. But I think in terms, if we were in, say, Champions League, is he that type of player for Champions League? I would say absolutely not. As much as I like Wilson, and I'm not criticising Wilson 1 minute because he's been absolutely fantastic for us. His goals have saved us in a lot of games. But I just think he's off the pace at the moment, and he has been for quite a long while. And, maybe the injuries and illnesses are all catching up on him. And maybe it is time we move him on. What's your take on Alan's comment, Billy?
I just think once his illness is out of his system and he's back to full fitness, I think he's a great player again. I think it's a bit early to write him off. However, I do think come next season, I don't think he'll be first choice striker. Absolutely not. I think he'll be on the bench. And it's whether we can get a system to fit Isak into it, or do we go out and spend a lot of money on a top quality striker, which I think we probably will actually. And we might try and find a system where we could accommodate Isak and this new top quality striker. But I don't think we'll be selling Wilson unless he shows no sign of recovering his fitness and his energy back.
Yeah. I mean, there's talk we're looking at this Danish kid, aren't we, from Atlanta in Italy.
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently so. Some Danish kid from Atlanta in Italy. Apparently he's hot prop. He's only 20-year-old. That they're already classing him as the new Erling Haaland. So, but they put pressure on these players. But maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But who knows? We'll find out in the summer anyway. Whoever we go for,
we will indeed.
Foxy says, good point, Billy. A lot of top managers lose finals. Klopp lost how many in a row? Ancelotti lost to Liverpool, Champions League final. Club World Cup lost to Barcelona. But get revenge on both, so no reason why, how, can't. Exactly. Yeah. Foxy does talk a lot of sense. Talking about PD, proud luck. There he is, Pete. He says, shame it wasn't to be today. We definitely can be proud. Some did play a part today. ASM was one of them. His passing was all over today, and he says, not to mention the two Man United fans came up and said, commiserations, well played, and said, yous will be back at Wembley soon. That's absolutely brilliant, Pete, and very good of them fans to do that.
One of them,
yeah, you are right. That's one of them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do let us know, Pete. Coffee says Dwight Gill was at Wembley too. Apparently, yeah, he was. Yeah, so was Ryan Taylor.
And he's also Hayden.
For the picture. Hayden as well.
Hayden was there. Joey Barton was there. Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. Devon says, I think it's time Isak needs to start. Wilson did okayish, but we lack creativity in a big way at the moment, which is frustrating. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, Devon. And just throw Isak in next week and give Wilson a rest. Give him a couple of games on the bench and just bring him off. Maybe just give him 10, 15 minutes just to ease him back in again and see what Isak can do from the start.
Yeah, I mean, to get Isak in, you're going to have to get someone up with him to help him. And whether Joe Linton can do that from midfield and provide him with a bit of physicality, it could happen. He could probably work a system out that he can use Joe Linton as Isak's battering ram, if you like, while still in the midfield role. That's the way to do it, I think. And then we won't see the benefits of Isak. But Isak's got a lot to show yet himself. He's not absolutely been, he hasn't pulled up any trees, let's be honest, apart from that first game, has he?
Yeah, definitely. And let's remember, he's not even anywhere near his peak yet. He's only 22 and he's 23. No. So he's got a long way to go in the game yet, that's for sure.
100%.
John said, I just hope it doesn't knock the lads too much. An injury to Bruno might affect us. Was surprised ASM was subbed. I wasn't surprised DSM went off, to be fair. Were you, Billy?
A little bit, because I thought he was definitely concerning their fullback Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
he was definitely concerning him, and once he went off, it left kind of Dan Burn to do on his own, which was strange. But I'd have kept him on. I must be honest. I'd have kept him on.
Sydney says, I do think Eddie Howe, being so professional, we will learn from this and be better and finish top four. Maybe not top four this season, but maybe from next season. Who knows? Yeah, but he will. Eddie Howe will learn better from this, and he will look back on this and he'll watch the game over again and look to see where the mistakes were made, and then he'll sort it all out. I'm sure he will, Eddie. Devon says, Maxi frustrated me today. And talking about Mr. Sinclair, he's come on the chat. Hi, Tony and Billy. Just got back into the hotel. It wasn't to be today. 2 poor goals done us today. But let's be real. Kieran Trippier was put today. Wilson, love him. Done. We need 3 or 4 new players, including a striker, if we are. That's page 1 of 2. And he says, to get close to teams like the top 4 sides, our time will come, but today wasn't to be. What do you make of John's comments there, Billy?
Yeah, I agree with him. I'm not sure Kieran Trippier was poor today.
No.
I don't think he was that bad. I think he was just gave a 7 out of 10 performance, but the Wilson bit's definitely right. I tend to think that, since the World Cup, we've all noticed, we've all seen it with our own eyes, that he ain't the bloke he used to be. We definitely need a new striker, no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Let's hope anyway. Lee says, wonder if the dog stopped working its ticket. Oh yeah, because somebody's lost their ticket, didn't they, through the dog, and had to get a replacement. It's like, you remember that back in the day when you were at school and you say, I haven't got my homework, why? Because the dog ate it.
Oh dear.
David says, what do you think of the ref? I felt he bottled it, especially in the second half. Gave a foul against us, then Manu committed the same exact foul and got nothing. Then Botman lost it. Yeah, I mean, he was poor. I mean, look, when it was a corner to us and he didn't give it, Wilson was saying it was a corner and he didn't give it. They went up the other end, hit a shot, it went out. And as soon as Bruno Fernandes ran up to him, said it was a corner, he gave a corner when he was going to give a goal kick originally. So, yeah, I wasn't impressed by David Coote, to be fair. Were you, Billy?
No, not at all. I thought it was shocking. There was another instance as well where the linesman stuck his flag up straight away, even though it was borderline, because Bruno Fernandes put his arm up for a flag. You're supposed to let that play go in. So if a goal goes in, the VAR checks it out. It certainly wasn't an obvious offside. It was borderline, certainly, but you don't stick your flags up for that. And it certainly wouldn't have happened at the other end. Absolutely not. Well, they didn't do it for the goal, did they? So,
no.
Yeah, I thought, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think Fred should have been off. Yeah, Casemiro should have been booked for he actually was. So, yeah, I think he was very lenient with the Man United players and a bit over the top with ours, but we expected it, didn't we? And it's not just David Coote, there's a heavy referee in the league, does it, where Man United are concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Lee says, put the thumbs up to help the lads. So funny when Billy does Klopp McTake.
What this? They're Bruno Fernandes teeth now.
Yeah. Yeah. Goofy Fernandes. Niall says, big up lads, unlucky it's only the start for Newcastle. You will be back, you are going places. Yeah, definitely, Niall. Yeah, thank you very much, mate, indeed. Devin says, the positive, we are still fifth, but I just hope this cup final defeat doesn't affect the players too much or we will get screwed.
As long as we can keep Bruno on the pitch, I think we'll be okay. I'm a bit worried that he might be out for a week or two with that ankle. I've got to say, I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scare. Lewis says, I'm happy with the lads. Yeah, Lewis, I mean, you can't fault them. They did what they could. Devin says, I want Gordon to start on the left now. Maxi is far too inconsistent. Yeah, okay, Maxi did okay today in places, but yeah, I think Billy said it earlier. I think he thinks Gordon could start next week and give him a go. And people were slating us signing Gordon, but I said, look, Gordon's a rough diamond and needs smoothing out, and Eddie Howe will do that. And Eddie Howe could make this guy into a much better player than he actually is, and the £45 million could end up being a snip.
I mean, I'd be tempted to start him on the right. I mean, we saw what Maxi did to Walker at home. You know,
Yeah,
he could even give Maxi, horses for courses type of game, and maybe give Gordon a win on the right. Let's see what he's like out there. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Gordon start on the left. I wouldn't. I think you're right, Devin. I think it probably will happen.
Yeah.
But if Eddie Howe thinks about the game at St James's Park, and I'm sure he will, I think I'd have to have Maxi in next week.
Yeah.
Of course, Willock's supposedly fit now. He didn't look it to me, but according to the club, he looks supposedly fit. So he might just go with the Joe Linton and Willock thing again. But we'll see.
Yeah. Lee says, learning curve for the lads, young players in the team takes time, but we will bounce back. Yeah, definitely. Johnson, I think Eddie is a bit inept with players. Carrick dropped Akpom into the 10 role and it's been a master stroke. Eddie just puts players where they want. Swapping Miggy into ESM would be good to see. Yeah, swap them two over. Maybe
even for 10 minutes.
Game or even just, yeah.
I mean, the Bournemouth game at home was crying out for that and he didn't do it. Just try something different. They come with a low block. Do something different. Make them think. Something different to attack, to defend against. We don't seem to do it. We're very, very rigid in our structure, aren't we? And sometimes it goes against us, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Sean says, after Man City, we need to change the formula. The current one has run its course.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think we've been found out. Definitely. I mean, Leeds just parked the bus that day when they played us, didn't they? And, and then for Jesse Marsh to come out after the game and say, oh, we got what we wanted, a point. It just shows you what their intentions were. But if we'd had our shooting boots on, we would have probably hammered them about 3 or 4-0 easily.
I mean, Palace did it twice, didn't they, as well? They've come with a low block.
Yeah.
Bournemouth had done it 3 times. West Ham did it. We do struggle against the low block because we lack creativity. That's what it's all about. We haven't got any.
Yeah.
Certainly not for the middle. And apart from unless we get Bruno in the number 8 position, which doesn't seem to be happening this year. And it won't happen now because we don't have Shelby anymore.
No. We need a Madison type player in the summer.
Definitely, without a doubt. It'd be a fantastic signing for us.
Yeah, I hope we do get him in the summer. Coffee says, in the post-match press conference, Ten Hag left the trophy on the table when journalists told him to take it with him. He said, I can leave it behind because I will get another one.
Well, he seems to have acquired the Man United arrogance rather quickly, hasn't he?
Hasn't he just, yeah.
Christ.
Paul says Newcastle had 63% possession, just couldn't finish. Yeah, exactly. We dominated the game, but apart from Man U, if Man U hadn't scored them goals before half time, if we'd gone in level at half time, it could have been a totally different game.
Definitely. And despite having 63% possession,
I think trying to come back from 2 goals is hard, isn't it?
Well, it is, and we didn't create anything. We have had all that possession, but we haven't created really anything, have we? Let's be honest. No clear-cut chances, certainly not. Maybe a set-piece header or two, but from open play, we've not created a thing, and that's the concerning thing for me, despite having all that possession.
Yeah. Paul says Crow was there at Wembley as well. Christopher says Miggy cutting back onto his left all the time again. When will he start crossing more with his right? Eddie needs to have a word. It's because he hasn't got a right foot, Christopher, has he? He's more left-footed. And that's the problem. That's what I was saying earlier on. The problem is when he's going from right to left foot, by the time he does that, he's got 2 or 3 players around him and he's being drowned out. So that's why he needs to be switched over. And like Billy says, even for 10 minutes, just give him a switch. And let's see what he can do with his left foot.
I think the system is for Mickey to do that though, so Trippier can get the space on the outside of him. And if Trippier's crosses are off, it makes Mickey look poor, I think. And they were off again today, albeit again with not a lot to aim for. Yeah,
definitely. Pete says, great to see you today, Tony. Also saw Paul and Alex as well. Yeah, great to see you, Pete. Your face, Pete, when you saw me walk up, you were like, what? So, yeah. yeah, I was a last minute decision that Pete for me to go down there, but yeah, I quickly got changed and left the house at 9:30, and got down to the train station for 10 o'clock and jumped on the train. LA Coffee says, "Is Petey on the bus on the way home? What's the atmosphere on the bus back?" I would imagine so. You'd be on the bus. This morning I know they were singing on the bus, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the atmosphere is like. Maybe he might come on and tell us.
There'll be a bit of snoring, I
Um,
imagine. A bit of snoring going on.
yeah,
I think.
probably. I would have thought so. Yeah. Lee says Darren Ambrose always been behind Newcastle on Talksport, legend. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's next player, isn't he? So he always speaks well in Newcastle. And while he wasn't probably one of the greatest players, but you know, he did his best.
I remember him scored against
He
Man
scored a
United.
few crackers. Yes.
He scored one against Man United, didn't he? Corker. Well, we did lose in the
Yeah,
end.
it was.
That was the Rooney
Yeah.
volley game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
He
Yeah.
was about to take him off
Yeah.
and he volleyed it from about 30 yards.
Yeah.
Well, Darlow got a game yesterday, by the way. He's going to be screened now and playing against Bristol City.
I was playing. Oh, wow.
They lost, didn't they? But they got Bristol City beat Hull, didn't they?
Yeah. And he'll be happy. Devon says, Trips for me was our best player in my opinion. Pete says, a lot of feeling tired now. The same with me. Yeah, get yourself some sleep, mate, on the way back. Absolutely, Billy. Ref had a story. Lee says, refs are crap. We should have some women refs that are better. Well, can't do any worse, can they? That's for sure.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. John says, guys, we were not good. Feel sorry for our brilliant fans who travelled to London. How are the lads? Yeah. But we'll be back again. Don't worry. We'll be back and we'll go back there and we'll win something. And we will. Devin said, I thought Bruno was really good today. Just a shame we didn't turn up. Well, we did turn up, Devin. We turned up more than we did in 1999, that's for sure. So, yeah.
Did, definitely.
Just a shame we couldn't get a goal. Even if we only pulled one back, at least the fans would have had something to cheer. John says, as I told you earlier, Billy, I was going into Man U pub, but they were great. We played not good, but also sad. But credit to the fans I encountered. Yeah.
Fair play to them. Fair play to them.
Yeah, there is some nice fans out there. LA Coffee says, John was quite the celebrity at Trafalgar Square and a lot of people took selfies and pics with him. Didn't have red shirts on, did they? But I mean, before I come to the end of the show, Billy, I mean, we've been on an hour and a half. I mean, what's your overall thoughts today, Billy? And you know, and have you got a prediction for next Saturday, or is it too early?
It's way too early for next Saturday. I think we need to take stock of what injuries we might have and might not have. Overall today, I'm disappointed at the result. Less disappointed at the performance. I thought at times we were the better side. A little bit disappointed at the way we managed the game. But full credit to Manchester United. I think they deserve the victory. And I think Eric Ten Hag slightly out-coached Eddie Howe, which is a strange thing for me to say, but I think the proof's in the pudding. I think, we never looked like scoring. They've scored twice, despite not looking dangerous, really. And the only chance to create after that was when we were kamikaze trying to get forward and left ourselves short at the back. So all in all, disappointed, proud of the fans, as always, proud of the effort the team put in. But today ain't our day, but the next one will be. You can guarantee that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same here. Disappointed with today's result. We did play. We did have the possession, but we just didn't have the creativity or guile to get the ball in the back of the net. Today wasn't our day, but there'll be better days ahead. I know people are probably expecting too much too quickly, but don't build your expectations too high. Next season we go again, try again in the Carabao Cup, try again in the FA Cup, and hopefully we bring a few extra players in the summer and we get rid of a few in the summer. It's just going to take time, but trust the process at the end of the day. and they will get it right. They will get some things wrong. Maybe the Shelby thing, maybe that's a mistake. But, they learn from this. That's the thing, you learn from it. And these owners are learning all the time. So keep the faith. And like I say, we will be. I'm sure we can get back there next season. There's no reason why we can't. But next season, let's go that one step further and win something. But I don't think we'll be far away from winning a trophy, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
Just go through a few comments here. Devon says, God, I was 12 in 99. Horrible, feels exactly the same in a strange way. He says, we just need to forget it. Yeah.
31 and absolutely blotter at Wembley.
Blotto.
Absolutely blotter. I'm glad I was.
Yeah, I was 28. Yeah, Coffee says we need to start scoring goals. It's quite concerning. Yeah, it is, absolutely. Ian says, is there a tune review tomorrow, Billy?
Yes, there is. We'll be looking over today's game again. 8 o'clock, I imagine the time will be for that one, Ian.
There you go, Ian. And Coffee says, we're not missing Chris, what are we? No, not at all.
Do you know what? I think he'd have could have done more pressure than what Callum Wilson did today.
Yeah, he probably would have actually
against Chelsea. The performance put against Chelsea where he pressed. He was a real menace to the centre halves. I think if Chris would have been there today, I think he might have put that kind of performance in. So, in a strange way, yes, but say it quietly.
Yeah. Coffee says, I have to go. Bye, Tony, Billy and all. Bye, I like coffee. Have a good evening, mate. And before we go, and Devon says, definitely don't miss Woody Woodpecker. Yeah, but he could have put himself about today, that's for sure. Before we go, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you, Billy?
Yeah, I'm Billy Trayer on Twitter, and also you'll find me on the Tune Review most nights of the week. Generally, shows are 8 o'clock. So we've got a massive community over there. Come and join us. And of course, if you are from the Tune Review here today, give Tony a subscribe as well, because he deserves it. Putting out some great quality content at the minute.
Yeah, thanks very much, Billy. Yeah, Billy made his debut on my channel today. What a time to make your debut, eh? When we're losing the cup final, but I'm sure Billy will come on many more times as well. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash a like. It really does help that channel on the search results. So on your way out, just hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. And the bell notification, that will tell you when I have a live show, a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. And you can find me on Twitter down there at TonyTooney31. Give me a follow, and I'll follow you back, no problem whatsoever. Lee says, get back, big time football. Back will be good, European football. Yeah, definitely. And Ian says, see you later, Tony and Billy. See you later, Ian. Take care, mate. Well, yeah, guys, not the result we were all hoping for. We were all hopeful of seeing a bit of silverware on its way back to the northeast of England. Wasn't to be, unfortunately. And, better days are ahead. And, let's see where we end up at the end of the season. And then let's see what we have in the summer. Take stock, start again next season. And keep the faith, guys, because there's only one way this club's going, and that's up. As Yazoo once said, the only way is up. And that's the way I believe the club's going. Yaz. Oh, yeah, Yazoo's a milkshake, isn't it, Billy?
Yaz and the plastic population, that's obviously she had Man United fans as backing singers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely, Billy. Yeah, on that note, guys, but we'll see you later, and take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye for now.
Good night, everyone.